What's going on, people? Let's talk about the new Facebook update, Andromeda. I go by the name of K Dash. I have a clothing brand, Savage Hearted Clothing. Y'all can check out the link in the description. And I've been running ads on Facebook for about 10 years. So I'm sure you clicked on this video because you probably need some help with the new Meta ads. And so that's what I'm here for, to give you 6 tips that can possibly help your Meta ads if you follow these steps. So first things first, let's get into the structure. The new structure versus the old structure. The old structure, you can have multiple ad sets. The old structure, I've noticed that I can put a new creative today, start getting sales from that creative. It's easy for me to increase the budget and still see a profitable campaign. All of that has changed with the new Meta ads. So with the new structure, it is better to have one campaign. Do you need only one? No, you can still have multiple campaigns, but I would suggest for those campaigns to be doing different things. For example, if you're going to have one campaign, have it be a CBO. However, if you want to start another campaign, have it be an ABO and do some testing or retargeting or have a different product than the CBO campaign. So that's one thing. The next thing is with this new Andromeda structure, you have to set up the campaign and leave it for a minimum of 3 days. What I've noticed in the last 6 months of me just testing different things out is you probably don't even see profit until the second day. The first day you might get a sale, you might not. A lot of that's coming on the second day. The old structure, it wasn't like that. The first day you're already seeing sales. You see what I'm saying? So this new Andromeda, you actually get penalized for constantly making changes to your campaign. For example, if you want to increase the budget, I would suggest you do that by 20% every 48 to 72 hours. I've tried to go from $100 to $200 in a day. The next day, it got 0 sales. But the third day, it was profitable. So it's tricky. This new setup is real tricky. So again, once you set your campaign up, don't touch it for a minimum of 3 days. After 3 days, if you're not profitable or getting any sales, Meta would suggest for you to leave that campaign. I'm going to say turn it off and start a new one, because it's rare that I see a campaign just start being profitable on the 4th and 5th day. If it ain't working in the first 3 days, it could be how you structured the audience. Meta recommends for you to leave the audience broad. However, that's not necessarily true, and I'll speak on why. Now, you do want to have Advantage Plus turned on. However, if they only wanted you to have your campaigns broad and nothing else, they would not give you the additional tools that set up in the ad manager to basically guide the campaign in what it should be. So what I mean by is they give you tools such as you can create rules for your campaign. They give you tools as they want you to set up your existing audience and your engaged audience. If they didn't want you to set up these things, then everything would be broad. But they want you to set up these things to basically guide the algorithm. Yeah, it's broad, but they still need you to guide it. So that's why they want you to set up these tools so it knows where to go. Because one of the key things I'm going to give y'all that I noticed in my campaign structures was the ages. I know my audience is, let's say, between 25 and 45 years old. So 55 to 65 years old is not really buying my brand, right? So why is the algorithm spending $500 on ages 55 to 65 years old and only making $100 back in return? You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't have rules set up to let the algorithm know That's not my audience. Put more of the budget towards these ages. So that's what I mean by set up your rules so that way it can help the algorithm. Also having lookalikes. Lookalikes, I'm still, it's February 2026 and certain lookalike campaigns are still being profitable in February 2026. So them just saying broad, that's the only thing that's working, that's not necessarily true. Lastly, I don't know if I gave y'all 4 or 5 tips. We had 4 or 5 yet, but having, let's talk about the ads itself. This is what I've noticed according to the budgets. You need at least 6 creatives per $100. So you're spending $200 a day, try to have about 12 creatives. $300 a day, 18 creatives. You can have up to 50 creatives in a campaign. The reason why I say this is totally different from the old campaign structure. The old campaign structure, when I had new merchandise to come in, I would take photos or videos of that merchandise, make add it to an existing campaign, and now it's starting to sell that product. The new structure of the campaigns, they want you to have 12 to 15 different creators, and they are going to make an experience for the customer out of those creators. For example, the reel might draw that person in the first time they see your brand because they saw this reel that caught their attention. However, this static image that you have that they're going to show the customer 2 days from now is what's going to get them to convert and make the sale. So when you look at your ads manager and it says that you got this sale from this image, you may think, oh, well, I can turn off the reel because it's not getting me any sales. This static image is getting me all the sales. What's going to happen now is if you turn off that reel, all of the other ones most likely are starting to not get sales. It's like you mess up your whole campaign just from turning off one ad. It's crazy how they have it set up, but this is what we've been experiencing. You might be experiencing something different, but this is what I've been seeing. So y'all will relate if this is what you've been seeing with your campaign. So you pretty much just have to leave it. You have to leave it, give it time to optimize, and let it work as a cohesive system. So I'm not going to make this video long. What I will say is I am giving 1 hour. If you want a one-on-one phone call, I am charging. It is a fee of $300. However, I can answer all the questions that you have. We can set up your campaign. And just to give y'all some screenshots, I'm gonna put it on the screen as to, these are just screenshots that I took early in the morning that's showing you how much I spent to how much in return ROA that I've got from that, to let y'all know that I pretty much know what I'm doing. I figured it out. And it took me some time. I spent a lot of money. You don't have to pay for the phone call. You can take this information that I'm giving y'all. It's free. You can go try and practice yourself and see if you can figure it out yourself, and then you'll save you some money. But if you can't figure it out, I wish I had somebody that I could pay and tell me how I need to structure my campaigns. Let me know not to touch the campaigns, because I spent a lot of money just by trial and error, saying, I'm going to try this today. If it don't work, I'm going to try something different tomorrow. I was hindering myself, not even knowing that. So again, you can try it yourself, see if it works. If it doesn't, feel free to reach out to me. We can schedule a phone call. We can go from there. But I hope it works out for y'all. In the meantime, trial and error is the best form of learning. And signing off to the next episode, it's your boy K Dash.